Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Trouble, and today I'm going to be doing a review of One Punch Man chapter 196. A bit late on the chapter, but here we are. Let's just jump right on in. So the chapter opens up with the cover page of Fubuki. And it's a very alluring cover page, as you could expect from Murata whenever he draws Fubuki. Yeah, but to get into the chapter, the the chapter opens up where we left off last chapter, and we open up with Flashy Flash, Flashy Flash in his very delusional state, telling Blast to stop talking about his disciple being Saitama. Flashy asks Blast about what he knows about God, which gives Blast pause, and Blast says to Flashy that if you're thinking about joining us, you would lose to God, which Flash takes as an insult because he takes it as Blast saying he's not strong enough to fight against God, which he's not, because Flash is high dragon. He's not above dragon. You gotta be at least above dragon. But yeah, so so then Flash goes into explaining that he's never going to give up because he's not going to stop until he showers God with slashes. And then we get into his backstory. And yes, if you remember, this is a redraw of the chapter. Um, a lot of this we already got in the previous chapter. So Flashy goes into a little bit of a backstory. It says in that in the village where he grew up, he and his friend they were tortured, and they were trained to be servants, to serve as servants as for God, by one of God's minion, that man. And then Blast takes it. Then Blast comes in and says, "Yes, I know him. He was my partner, and his name is Empty Void." And Blast tells us a story that he and Empty Void used to search for the cubes. That the cubes are what you use to communicate with God. They used to search for the cubes, but at some point during their search, about 15 years ago, I think, Blast, Empty Void fell under the control of God, and Blast and Empty Void had a battle with. They got into a fight. Blast managed to wound Empty Void, that wound Empty Void, and it would take him 15 years to recover from the wound that Blast gave him. So, and then Flashy offhandedly says that you spared him because he was your partner, which Blast is like, yo, that's dark. And yeah, so and then we go back into the experiment. So the experiment is Blast, and this is why Blast is here, by the way, is to see the experiment of trying to separate monster cells, or trying to revert humans that have been turned into monsters back into humans. And they're using the individuals, if you remember from season 2, with the martial arts tournament, who ate the monster cells. They've turned themselves in an attempt to try and turn back into humans. And yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal, but during all of this test, they gain a little bit of hope, and we get this saying that maybe the way to revert, or the way to go back to human, for them to turn back, is like a spiritual thing. So this is interesting, because it might be that it's the same way that Saitama broke his limiter. The same way, like through effort and trying, might be the same way to go back to human. That little sentence, the two might be linked, because we know that a person's mental state is very important when it turns into human. Because like use Crablante for instance. Crablante turned into a monster because he really loved crabs. Really, really loved crabs, and then he turned into a crab monster. So yeah. But anyway, right then and there, Blast senses something, and then we get a truly insane feat of power from him, as he literally teleports the entirety of the Hero Association. We get an outside view of what's going on, and then we see like cracks coming toward the Hero Association from every angle. But the Blast, I don't know what he did. He did something. I'm not really sure if he teleported it, phased it, or what. But he moved the Hero Association out of the way and then teleported it back. They teleport onto the roof, and Blast is like, that was Empty Void's dimensional blade. And Stitch and Flash is freaking out, right? And Saitama offhandedly says, after Saitama asks Blast if he can take care of this, and Blast says, I don't know, I'll have to try. I haven't just been sitting around doing nothing after all. And so that's chapter 196 of One Punch Man. Pretty fun chapter. I enjoyed it. I'm curious to see what the redraws are going to be for the whole Sonic Flashy Flash fight. So we'll have to wait and see. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.